Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm the Book Geek, also known as Kiava, and this is my summer TBR. Now, although you are probably seeing this in the month of July or August, depending on when I edit this and finally get it out, I have already started reading all the books I want to read for summer. I started back in June. It's just that you're just now seeing it. So if you didn't see one of my other previous videos where I explained it, I think I explained it in my winter wrap up. I accidentally filmed a January TBR earlier this year, and that was my bad because I no longer want to do monthly TBRs. I want to do seasonal TBRs. Maybe sometime in the future I might go back to monthly TBRs. Maybe when I decide to bring my will back. I don't know. My life has been extra busy and things have been so up and down. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not doing the will right now. But I will eventually get back to that. But right now, let's just talk about the books that I've already started reading for the summer and some others that I would like to complete before the summer ends. I'm not working this summer. I have a lot of time on my hands, so I should be able to get a lot of reading done. So one of the first books to kick off this summer TBR is All Boys Aren't Blue. Love this cover. This cover is to die for. So this is a memoir in which the author, George M. Johnson, describes growing up as a Black queer male in America. Okay, and the next book is The Black Flamingo. This is a story about a young boy that is trying to find his place in the world, where he fits in, and when he discovers the drag community, he finds a place where he can finally feel like he belongs. Clearly, those two books were my June Pride Month picks. Also in the summer, you'll notice in this TBR a lot of books that are written in verse, because those are just easily consumed, especially during the summertime when things are moving so quickly. One of them is Elizabeth Acevedo's newest book, and that is Inheritance, a Visual Poem. This is one of the ones that I've actually already read. It's very short and powerful nonetheless. I actually gifted this same book to one of my students before school had gotten out for the school year back in June. She struggles with hair acceptance. She has 4C hair, and I noticed throughout the school year that she was saying very negative things about her hair. And so on the last day of school, when I was there and I was giving everybody their gifts and things of that nature, I gave her a whole bunch of hair books, and I pulled her to the side and I talked to her about how she needs to love her hair. And I actually started crying because it's just so devastating to hear a young, beautiful Black girl hating their hair. It was very sad to witness, and I just started crying. And I don't know if she understands the depth of that sort of self-hate, but I hope that I was able to get through to her, and I hope that these books that I gave her will help her understand that there's nothing wrong with her hair, and that it's okay to love every part of her, including her hair. No matter what anybody says, her hair is beautiful. There's nothing wrong with her hair. So very, very powerful visual poem this one was. And I just realized I have my fan on, so I don't know how distracting that first part of the video is going to be for you guys, but I'm going to go shut it off right now. Okay, I'm back. Next up is another book by Elizabeth Acevedo, and that is The Poet X. These are books that I just think I'm going to be able to fly through in the summertime. This one is a book written in verse. This is a little bit of a coming of age story. It's about a young girl who's coming into her body. She's growing into her body. She's getting curves and whatnot. She's getting crushes on boys, and she refuses to be silenced. And what some people might look at as a rebellious sort of attitude, I think it's going to be an awakening for her. I can't wait to read it. I used to write poetry myself. I should actually try to get back into it. I was really, really good. I made the news twice. I used to perform in poetry contests and talent shows. I really, really loved it. And it was always one of my dreams to write a book written in verse. Also, I have here another book that is written in verse, and that is Chlorine Skye. It says here, with gritty and heartbreaking honesty, Mahogany L. Browne delivers a novel in verse about broken promises, fast rumors, and when growing up means growing apart from your best friend. Something that I think a lot of us might have in common. I remember being best friends with a couple of people and just had to, you grow up and you find out who it is you want to be in life. And sometimes who you want to be in life does not coincide with these people that were once your best friend, or who are still your best friends, but you understand that you guys are on two different paths. And sometimes you have to walk away from some friendships. And it's hard. It's a hard thing to do. But sometimes it's the best path for someone. So I understand that all too well. This next one is a highly anticipated read of mine. I was supposed to start this book in June. Soon as I clocked out for my last day at work, I wanted to pick up this book, but it just didn't go that way. So I'm hoping to get to this one in the month of August because, I got some secret TBRs and secret vlog videos and whatnot that I'm doing right now. So I'm hoping to get to this one in August. But that is Goliath by Tochi Anabuchi. I talked about this book so much. I don't want to sit here and bore you guys with this again. I need to read this book though. This has to be read before the end of the year. I'm so looking forward to this. Another one that I was supposed to buddy read with somebody, but we just never got around to it. I'm going to end up reading this one on my own, is Razorblade Tears. This is a good old-fashioned revenge story, okay? Two fathers who had two gay sons who were also in a relationship with one another. Their gay sons end up dead, and these two fathers who are black and one white, they are setting out to find out who's responsible for the death of their children. And I think that neither one of them were very welcoming of their son's sexual orientation, sexual preference, so what have you. But at the end of the day, those were still their children, and I cannot wait to read this freaking book. So this next book you'll also see in my birthday book haul. My birthday was in the month of July 4th to be exact. And that is Red, White, and Whole. I believe this is another book that is also written in verse, at least it appears that way. And it's about a young Indian girl who feels torn between two worlds. Even though the sight of blood makes her feel sick, she dreams of becoming a doctor, and she begins becoming fixated on red and white blood cells. And I think the reason why she's doing that is to try and find a way to help save her mom, who is sick. I'm not for certain. I feel like this book might break my heart. This book, was it earlier this year or was it last year? I think it was earlier this year. It was, was it last year? I don't know, but recently I read Pet, and then I found out that there was a companion book, Bitter. And if you don't know, Bitter is Jam's mother. Jam is the main character from the book Pet that I gave 5 freaking stars. I love that book. I will read anything Akwaeke Emeze writes, anything she writes. And then when I found out that she was writing a companion book based on the character Bitter, I had to have it. So I went out and bought it right away as soon as I found out. And I don't know what it is about, and I don't care. I'm reading it. Not to mention, I love the cover. I'm also reading a few books that are in my Kindle library. I need to start adding those to my TBRs and whatnot, wrap-ups when I'm talking about books. One you heard me talk about in my What's in My Kindle Library video. I'll link that video below, above, somewhere in this video. And that is The After Party. It is about 3 girls who all have a reason for wanting this one particular man dead. He ends up turning up dead, and basically they're all suspects because they all have their own reason for wanting him dead. And, one girl was having an affair with him. She gets called over to his house, and when she shows up, he is already dead. And then she pulls her other friends into the mix. And instead of like calling the authorities because it would have made them look guilty because they all have a motive for wanting him dead, they just got the hell out of there and tried to cover it up. So now they're all suspects. It is crazy. It's crazy right now. It's an okay book, a decent enough book to get through. I wasn't enjoying it at first, but it's growing on me. So I'm currently reading that one through my Kindle. I'm listening to the audiobook for that one. And also for the summer, I am going to read my first Ania Allborn book, If You See Her. It's a horror book. I think it's about a haunted house. Not for sure. I got to go back and look up the synopsis, which I don't feel like doing right now. And I'm also going to read Appetite for Innocence in my Kindle library video that I recently posted. One of my friends told me that Appetite for Innocence was fantastic. I'm purely going off of her suggestion, and I'm doing a couple of secret reading challenges, TBRs, vlog videos, whatever. Also, for my summer TBR, I will be finishing up some books that I started but haven't finished yet, including I Am Legend, Brown Girl Dreaming, Amy and Roger's Epic Detour, Children of the Dark, and Game of Thrones. I know Game of Thrones has been on the TBR for a long time, but I haven't consistently been reading it or listening to it. So I'm just going to take like a week or something and just listen to it nonstop, or I don't know. But these are the books that I need to finish before the summer is over. So we have till September. We have till September to get through a lot of books. Am I going to read all of these? Heck no. Heck no. Do I want to read most of them? Heck yeah. All right. So that is it. Let me know if you've read any of these, what you thought of them, which one you think I should start on next. I read multiple books at one time, which I just need to try and focus on one book at a freaking time. But, you know, it is what it is. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.